What did the largest horse of all time look like? Where to look for the Cyclopes and albinos? How do the animals you know look like in a different color? And is it true that real unicorns live on our planet? You'll find the answers to these questions and more in this episode. Today, I'll show you animals that are born once every 1,000 years, and I'll also tell you about the rarest animals on the planet. Let's go. Super horse. I don't think I'd be lying if I said that horses are born every day. Really big horses are born less often, and a giant like Samson is by right the animal that's born once in 1,000 years. This is a huge horse which has no equal, has never been and probably will not be for a long time yet. Moreover, there was no equal to this horse and probably won't be for a long time. This horse of the Shire breed was born in the 19th century in England. His height was about 7.2 feet, and he weighed 3,351 pounds. This is the tallest and heaviest horse ever recorded. It's impossible to believe that such a horse really existed. In general, the Shire breed horses are famous for their large size and abilities. They can be used for towing heavy objects, races, and more. There are a lot of giants among the Shire, but such horse as Samson is exactly 1 in a million, or even a billion. Pearl. What color are crocodiles? Green, of course. Well, or black if we're talking about black caimans, but crocodiles can also be white. However, such crocodiles are born very rarely. One such unique albino is a rare female alligator named Pearl. Though in fact it's not even an albino, in this case we're dealing with leucism, a partial loss of pigmentation, not the complete loss as in the case of albinism. The female is young, she's about 15 years old, which is quite a small age for alligators that live up to 50 to 60 years. Pearl's not very big, weighing only about 110 pounds and reaching 10 feet in length. She lives in an American theme park in Florida. Only there can Pearl live normally. After all, in the wild it's almost impossible to live with leucism. The predator wouldn't be able to blend in with her surroundings and hunt effectively, and the scorching rays of the sun would quickly destroy her sensitive skin. But in captivity, she's well taken care of, so she's safe here. You must admit animals with leucism and albinism are quite easy to confuse. After all, both are white. As for albinos, there's a place for them in this episode. The first is the very rare albino shark. This in itself is unique, but the individual is also one-eyed. The Cyclops and albino mix, such creatures are definitely born only once in 1,000 years, or even less often. An incredible individual was found in Mexico. It was caught by a fisherman named Enrique. Unfortunately, he caught the already dead individual, so scientists couldn't properly study it. However, they found out that the little one-eyed shark was in the same litter with 9 other baby sharks that were born normal. The albino turned out to be the only shark with pathology among its congeners. This makes the individual even more unique and unusual. Yoda. Someone has oddities with eyes and skin color, and someone has oddities with ears. For example, Yoda. No, I'm not talking about a Jedi Master, although his ears were also strange and unusual. I mean Yoda the cat, who was born with 2 pairs of ears. The owners didn't go wrong with the name. It'd be wrong to call this furball otherwise. What happened to Yoda is an extremely rare case of congenital anomaly. The owners took Yoda home as a kitten, instantly falling in love with the unusual creature. However, his ears worried them a little, so the owners decided to check Yoda at the veterinarian. He was shocked by such a phenomenon and stated that he'd only heard about something like this once, but had not seen it personally. The vet admitted that Yoda is special, and more importantly, despite the strange ears, Yoda's hearing is fine, and his health in general is fine too. Snake with a paw. Everyone knows that snakes have no limbs, but as it turned out, there are special exceptions. So, a few years ago, a snake got into one of those Chinese houses, and the owner of the house killed the reptile in fear. She was about to throw the body away when she suddenly saw a paw sticking out of the snake. The reptile really had a limb growing. But how? What made the snake so unusual? Most scientists believe that the snake was a mutant, but some scientists have suggested that the snake ate some lizard, its paw somehow didn't digest, took root in the snake's body, and even managed to grow through the skin. Whatever the correct version is, the snake looks creepy. And most importantly, it looks very unusual. Scientists have previously found the remains of ancient snakes that had something similar to paws, but they've never seen such a creature handed to them by a Chinese woman. It's possible that the snake with a paw is the only such individual in history. The same can be said about the next animal from this episode, the Venezuelan poodle moth. It became known in 2009 when zoologist Arthur Anker took a picture of the creature in Canema National Park in Venezuela. It's believed that this particular individual has not been seen anywhere else. Despite the fact that the range of the Venezuelan poodle moth is known, it has not yet been identified or described as a separate species. So all that remains is to speculate and guess. Some scientists believe that the Venezuelan poodle moth belongs to the snout moths family. Others believe that the creature may be somehow related to the tiger moth. One way or another, scientists still cannot describe the species and establish its belonging to a particular family or order. Maybe you can. Share your guesses in the comments. It's been a while since we've had albinos. Let's fix it. Meet the albino raccoon. Surprised? Yes, it turns out that such a creature really exists. They're very different from their striped and dark relatives and outwardly look more like giant possums, rats, or hamsters than raccoons. The unique and rare white fur of these predators is the result of mutations that have occurred in the body. The habits and life features of albino raccoons are the same as those of common raccoons, except that it's more difficult for them to hunt and survive because of their rare fur color. In general, everything's the same as in the case of other albino animals. That's why people try to catch such unique animals and place them in animal reserves and animal centers where people can take care of them. Next, we have another rare animal with an unusual color. Relax, this is not an albino. They will no longer be in the episode. It's the turn of colorful creatures, and the first of them is a pink grasshopper. It's hard to believe that such a creature is even real. It's like a fairy tale character, or at least a Photoshop product, but no, pink grasshoppers actually exist. According to scientists, the unusual color of these insects is the result of a genetic mutation, which is characterized by a violation of the pigmentation of the outer integuments in favor of red, orange, or pink. These grasshoppers look very elegant and cool, but they themselves are clearly not happy with such a mutation. Such creatures are rarely born and even less often live to adulthood. Because of their very bright color, they become an ideal target for predators that detect them in no time. Colorful beauty can be found not only in the grass but also on the ocean floor. Off the coast of North America, along with ordinary lobsters, blue ones can crawl there. And no, this lobster is blue not because it's very cold, it's just another unique animal which is extremely difficult to encounter. Scientists believe that one blue lobster is born among 2 million ordinary individuals. Of course, a unique color is due to a genetic mutation. It causes lobsters to produce excessive levels of dark blue pigment, and as you might have guessed, these arthropods are an ideal target for predators, like pink grasshoppers or albino animals. Only a few blue lobsters manage to survive. That's why they're so rare. Fortunately for them, people usually don't eat such unique creatures. Fishermen consider blue lobsters to be a good omen, so as a rule, they let them go back into the water. And then there are the yellow lobsters. They're not as rare as the blue ones, but they are very unusual. Check them out. Saula. Not only individuals or representatives of some species can be extremely rare, but even the entire animal species as a whole. And the Saula demonstrates this perfectly. This is the even-toed ungulate that lives in Vietnam and Laos. It's also sometimes called the Asian unicorn. Simple fact says that the animal is very rare. It was discovered only in the early 1990s. Just imagine, 30 years ago, no one could simply find this 220-pound creature. The discovery became a sensation. No one expected that at the end of the 20th century, it would still be possible to discover a new, unknown species of large mammals. Although the species is new, it's already on the verge of extinction. According to estimates, there are less than 250 individuals left on the planet. Scientists cannot say the exact number because they can hardly observe saulas. They have to use camera traps or film animals secretly. Scientists in general cannot tell much about saulas because these hoofed animals are very secretive and unsociable. It's known that saulas move singularly or in pairs, that they're timid, and that they're active in the daytime. It's unknown whether scientists will be able to study this rare animal species in detail. But let's hope that they'll have time to get to know saulas better. That's all, guys. Which rare animal surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you later.